camping, so I'm going to be making, well, cabin camping, so not full-on tent camping like we normally do, but I'm going to be making us a French toast breakfast before we get out on our day's adventures. So I'm going to get my camp stove up and started. Here we go. And this is like a wonderful thing to have once you got to get it, there we go, to cook on, because it's really easy to use and it cooks great. So we're going to get our bacon started because bacon takes the longest, and then we're going to make up our kind of, don't want that to blow away. And then where are some tongs? So let's get our bacon broken apart on here. So, and that way we'll have it. We're just going to cook it up and render it down. Then we'll cook our sausage in it and our eggs in here. And then I'll have my little pan is for my French toast. I'll do one at a time. I find that I can only really, I guess I could fit two 10-inch pans, but I can't fit my big 12-inch pan in my 10-inch on here. So I have my kind of, these are my camping pans that I always call because they stay in my camping kit. There we go. So we get our bacon here broken apart. It's easier to do it at home with the sink, but when you're camping, you don't always have a sink as available. Okay, got this. And I will say, for some reason, bacon hits better when you're camping. It's just so good. There we go. We've got those moved down. I'm going to get this turned down just a smidge on here. Okay, while those are cooking, let's get the base for our French toast. So I'm going to start with some cinnamon swirl bread because that just makes it easier. I've got a bowl here, and we're going to make a custard base for this. So I'm going to use 4 eggs for this, and then the rest will go for scrambling. Now I will say, when you're camping, get your eggs in the plastic containers because they travel, like it has a better insulation. Like the cardboard ones in your cooler will get all mushy, but this, it holds really well. So we've got our first round of eggs in here. I'm going to whisk these up. And then we'll add in some cream. And this is just going to be our basic custard base for our French toast. So we'll whisk it up nicely. Grab a plate here. This will be my scraps plate. And then what I like to add into my base, we're going to do cream, which you need that kind of that milk-based fish for it. I like to use cream over milk because I think milk makes your French toast too runny. Cream gives you that thick base for it. So just a good, like a 1/4 of a cup or so in here. You don't need a whole lot. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of vanilla extract, which gives a nice kind of mellow flavor to it. And this is all like freehand measuring, guys, because when you're camping, you don't want to bring a whole bunch of little stuff. Makes it easier. But about a 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon. Cinnamon. We're going to put a good amount of cinnamon in here, probably like a teaspoon to teaspoon and a half. This is very, very accurate measurements, guys. And then a little touch of sugar to sweeten the batter up, even though we actually are going to be using primarily syrup to sweeten it. I love a little bit, about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons. And this is going to be our sweetened custard base. So we'll mix it all the way around. There we go. And then it will just be time to dip our eggs. Or not our eggs, dip our bread into our egg mixture. And then boom, we got easy base for our French toast. So super, super easy and wonderful. Before I dip them, let me give my bacon here a little bit of a flip and move it around. I will say these camping stoves are really, really efficient on cooking. So they heat up nice and well for it. So this is our bacon here. I'm going to turn it down just a smidge because it's nice and hot on here. And the cute thing is it just uses these little kind of small little kerosene or propane tanks, which are really, really like they're cheap and they're really easy to find. Like I got mine at Target in their little camping section, and they last forever. I was like, oh, I'm out. So I bought a second set of them because they come in a 2-pack. And then I realized I still had 2 from our big camping trip 2 years ago because I had bought 6 for that camping trip. And we've gone on several camping trips since then. And that's just how long they last. So they're little, but they're mighty, I should say. They can cook a good amount of food. Move these guys right over here. And now we're going to get our egg dipping cinnamon swirl. It makes for the best. If you can find the really thick Texas toast cinnamon swirl bread, which is hard to find, a lot of times at home I'll make my own. I mean, that gives you the best French toast, but this gives you extra flavor and is just easy. So we'll start by dipping into our mixture. Just coat it up right there, and then we'll let it go over here to sit. And before, you don't want to just dip them really quick and then stick them in the pan. They need to set for a few minutes because you want this egg mixture to soak into your bread. Now, I don't like it when my French toast is super soggy, which is, again, why I like to use cream instead of milk. Because, sometimes you get people love like that brioche French toast casserole that you get at like a lot of those like specialty buffets. But to me, I feel like they're too soggy. I like it to where I still have some firmness of the bread, but I have this just delicious egg base on here. So we're got here. It's nice. So normally we do tent camping because I'm a lover of classics, but it was rainy yesterday, so it was just a short little camping trip. And I was like, let's do a cabin. So we got a little deluxe cabin here, and it's been super cute and nice, and the kids have been loving it. And it was perfect because yesterday, we went up here for EV soccer tournament, and now we're going to kind of go explore the area because we're near Mammoth Caves. And it has been it was so rainy yesterday, and we were going to have games today, but they canceled her tournament. So I was like, oh, more fun for us to do. It worked well for us because a lot of her teammates, I feel bad for them. Like they got up here and got like a hotel for just that. And they're like, oh, we could have driven home. And I was like, oh, good thing I planned this camping trip. It makes me feel like I'm a genius when reality, I was just trying to make the most out of being here. Okay, got all of them in here, and see 4 eggs, perfect, because I never do the heels because the heel of the bread, as my kids like to say, isn't as good. It has too much crust on it, which is funny because I love the heel of the bread. Okay, get my hands wiped up. Having wet wipes is an essential for cleaning on camping. Get our bacon here, and then we're going to drop in some butter and get our butter going for our French toast because we'll have to do it in batches here. Let me set this. I'll get this right here and butter. I'll put in a little dollop. I've got this guy heating up nice and not too high because I don't want to cook it too high for it. So just like a medium low, because like I said, these things, they work really, really well at heating up your pans. As you can see, I'm dropping my butter in there, and we already got great little movement here. Beautiful. Just turn it down again a little bit more. And then I'm going to drop our first kind of round of French toast in here. And we'll just do one at a time. Flip it over. It will cook up really quickly, and I'll get a stack out here in no time. And the nice thing is with this is they'll keep each other warm. They'll move up, have everything, and the kids will be very, very happy. Beautiful. So you see, cooks up really, really fast in here with our little pan. And I will say, nothing's better than bacon, eggs, sausage on, a nice camping day where you're outside. Last night we roasted s'mores. The rain stopped, and we were able to get a fire in, and we had s'mores. And it was so funny. So I guess right now Hershey has Pokemon chocolate out. And so, of course, we opened it up and we had like 4 Jigglypuffs, which I was like, yeah, okay, Jigglypuffs, it's okay. But we had Evie, an Evie chocolate bar, which was very happy because Evie, my Evie, was very happy to have Evie chocolate on her s'mores. And then she was like, oh, they should make Jigglypuff marshmallows. And I was like, that would actually be very, very cute and very, very fun. Okay, let's get our next one in. And we'll get these guys going. Got already round 1 done of our French toast here. Bacon, let me cooking up well. But it's a surprise. Like, we're a big family and we can cook a good amount on just this little stove. Now, a lot of times I'll do like my dinners will either be a mix of the stove or I have a grate that I can put over the campfire and I'll cook. But this cabin came with a nice little grill. So we grilled steaks last night and I made my little potato hobos, which are you take like you dice up potatoes and then add butter and seasoning and then you put them in aluminum foil, wrap them up, and you place them on the grill or in the coals, and they get like crispy on the outside, but they get that smoky flavor to it. So we had that, and then roasted corn on the cob and grapes. So we had a pretty fantastic feast last night. Here we go. We'll get these guys cooking up. Get ready to take this next one off here in just a second. And then I'll get a little bit more butter in for each round. I kind of like to do the butter between once I run out, I put a little pat more in here. Okay. I'm gonna add just a smidge more. And keep turning this guy down nice and low. And then we'll add them on. That easy. And then for our sausages, I just get pre-cooked sausages that I cook in the bacon grease because bacon cooked sausage is so good. So good. It gives you like a nice little crispy crust on it, which my kids say is like the most delicious thing. It makes sausages even better.
Yeah, question. Are those cast iron pans?
These are actually, let me see if I can look at this. I'm pretty sure these are the Cuisinart all non-stick pans. Yes, Cuisinart non-stick like pans. They were the ones that I had in my kitchen before I got HexClad. And so now while there's nothing wrong with them, they are not as nice as my other ones. So they've been relegated to my camp cooking. The reason cast iron is really great for camping because you don't have to do much of a cleaning on it. But sometimes certain camp places, you don't actually have the best things to clean it, like scrub it out. They clean up really easily with just a little bit of water, or even if you just have a Clorox wipe. So I like to use them because they're not as heavy, they're not as bulky, and so that makes kind of a big difference as well for it. Now, if cooking over the fire, if you're going to cook over a fire, a nice cast iron pan actually is wonderful for that. But for this, it just works a little bit better. It conducts the heat a little bit faster with my things, and it doesn't take as much space. Let's turn that up a little bit. Okay. Another one down. Beautiful. I'm going to put a little pat of butter again in here. And we'll get going. And the nice thing is you just keep stacking your French toast on top of each other, and it keeps everything nice and warm. And it'll be perfect because by the time we get out, everything's finished. The little ones out, the little ones have the bottom ones will be nice and cooler for them. So it's not too hot. It was like last night, I took the corn of the cob off of our thing, and Jack, he loves corn on the cob, and he really wanted to eat it, but I was like, buddy, it's so hot. And you know how corn on the cob, it takes forever to cool down. And I was like, you just gotta wait. He was like, I want to eat it now. And he was so mad that it was too hot to eat. I was like, I know, it's hard. Sometimes we have to wait. There, get that. I always like to double check because one time I was cooking and I didn't realize it, but the wind had knocked my burners out. The wind flaps are really great for protecting there, but if you get a gust of wind from right where you're cooking, it can change it to where you don't, they'll turn off and you won't notice until you're like, huh, why isn't it bubbling anymore? Yeah. So I will say we've got the 10-inch and the 8-inch, but you could definitely do two 10-inch. A 12-inch frying pan on here is too big. So that's why I always like this. But this always works. I find these two work really well on it. Although eventually when I go through and I replace another set, I'll put another 10-inch in here just so we can have two big frying pans. Bigger. It's always hard when you have a big family and you've got to cook a lot of food. Get this guy on there. But these will be delicious. I'm going to get everything ready for our bacon. It's not ready yet, but it will get crispy. And I always say bacon goes fast. And once it is crispy, I'll get it on our thing. But we'll put our paper. Oh, it looks like I didn't grab my paper towels out. So we're going to just, okay. I will, here, let me give this a flip and then I'm going to run in and grab our paper towels for our bacon on it. Are you going to go to grab it? Okay. Cameraman's going to go grab it that way. Don't want to trust him with the food. He might eat all the bacon while we're here. But here we've got our lovely, gorgeous bacon frying up. It's getting nice there. It'll probably be crispy in about another 2 minutes. And then let's check on our just about ready to flip over. Perfect golden brown French toast here. And again, our seasonings on our French toast are super, super simple. It's just vanilla, cinnamon, sugar, cream, eggs. And it just is perfect for kind of, packing and you don't have to use that many things to carry it. There we go. Get those all tucked in there. I'm going to turn this up just a smidge. And then let's get our paper towels ready so that when we're ready to take it out, we'll have this to go on top of it. Put it right there. Luckily, it's not too windy today. There we go. And we'll get these on here. Beautiful. I'd say once you get these in, that's why I said you don't need to have two things. French toast is one of those breakfasts that cook really, really fast. They cook, and I want to say like a third the time that pancakes cook. So it's really nice because you can whip through a lot of them pretty quickly. Let's get a little bit more butter in here because I love, again, a nice little butter crust on all of them. There we go. Cook that up there. And as they sit, that egg mixture will kind of permeate more into the the crust of the bread, which gives you that, that lovely richness to it of your French toast. Here. Beautiful. Okay, spread those out. I'll get ready I'm going to turn that up just a smidge. Get that cooking here. I'm going to get my sausage ready so that'll be ready to go in there. I always do pre-cooked sausages just because being in like our cooler, I like everything to be packaged up. So like when I get my ground beef or my steaks, I make sure they're like in the plastic versus the ones that are on like the containers that are like the foam containers that are wrapped, because you don't want anything to like leak around. It's just like things that little chips that you pick up after a while. They're like, oh, this was going to make it easier so that you don't contaminate your cooler and whatnot. There. And I will say, being able to cook and do things on camping trips, it's actually pretty economical. It makes it to where you can do like a lot of fun things, but you don't have to worry about, okay, eating out for every single meal. We always like to do where we eat lunch out when we're out and about doing things. And then I cook dinner and breakfasts at the campsite. Just because one thing, we have Jack, and as much as I love Jack, Jack is not the best restaurant buddy. And because Jack is happy when he's happy, but the minute he decided he's done and he is ready to leave, everybody is ready to leave. There is no waiting for Jack to be done. Like this morning, so we've got our, and we're kind of like, you know, cozy in our little cabin. We've got like, you know, a nice big queen size bed where Jack, you know, my husband and I slept, and then Torn and Teddy were on a full, and then we have a cot. And somehow when I woke up this morning, I had Evie, Teddy, and Jack in the bed with us. So we had 5 in the bed, and we are all like crammed in there. And then Jack went and grabbed a Stanley, and he hit me in the head with a Stanley. And then he grabbed my phone, dropped my phone on me. It was he made sure I was up. He was he's very happy to be there, but he was also a stinker. There we go. Nice. This one, it looks like it's ready. Pop this one over here. And we'll be down to just a few of them left. So we'll have our little mountain of French toast here pretty soon. Get all of these guys over and soaking up this goodness here. I know this is kind of the first time we've done a cabin at a KOA. We've always done the tent camping, but we were like, oh, we want to try it out, see how it is. And we have really, really liked it. In fact, we kind of booked a little trip at the end of April that we're going to go up to Pennsylvania because we have a soccer game there. But then I was like, oh, there's like a cool amusement park. We can take the kids and we can stay there because I will tell you, I was like, staying in a cabin versus staying in a hotel room with children is so much nicer because you don't have to worry about people on all sides of you because you've got nature out here. There's a million things to do in this place. Like the kids were playing on like the jumping pillow and at the playground yesterday, and all of them have pools and like playgrounds and activities that you can go out and do. But I think it's also, you just don't have to worry about being quiet and bothering other people because everybody's out here enjoying it. Everyone's out and having fun. And it's just a lot nicer. You get more room for it. So it's definitely a nicer way about it. Okay, we're getting very close. We've got this nice golden kind of crisping up on ours. And this, I will say, this bacon was nice and fatty. A lot of times you don't get a good amount of fat, but look at this. I've rendered off a lot of fat here, which is beautiful. Once I get all of these nice kind of golden crispy edges, then we'll take this out and we'll get our sausage cooking, which takes about 30 seconds to a minute, which is nice because it's a really quick thing to cook up because they're already pre-cooked. And then we'll drain out some of the extra fat and then cook our eggs in here. Yeah. We'll do a little bit more butter on here. And have this nice little feast. And then it will be time to wake up some of the kiddos. They're all enjoying the shower. They're all like, I want to take a shower. And I'm like, okay, we're not even dirty yet. So we might be there, but it's always funny. They love the community showers where they all can go and do it. They just love that for some reason. I don't know. I'm like, oh, well, when you guys go to college, you're going to have fun in your dorm rooms where you've got like 20 stalls. But they think it's the best thing to all be able to shower and be there at one time. I'm like, oh, that makes you happy. It's the little simple things in lives that I think make, that keep kids happy. I feel like sometimes people try to overcomplicate it and go too much or do too much. And I'm like, you know what? They love simplicity. They love, the simpler things. Okay, this was looking like some beautiful bacon here. We've got this lovely golden brown crispy edges on it. I always typically know when my bacon is done is when you see this nice white foam forming up. That typically lets you know that there's very little like liquid left in the fat to crisp off. And so it's ready to come out. So we're going to pull this out. I'll put it on my paper towel here. There. And then we'll throw in our sausages and we'll let those cook up real fast. But look at that beautiful golden bacon. Nothing beats that. It's perfect. I don't know why cooking over a camping stove always makes the best bacon, but trust me, it makes the best bacon. And turn this guy down just a smidge. And then let's get our sausages in here. So we'll throw in 12 sausages because it's funny because before I started cooking my sausages and bacon, which really just started, or bacon grease started because of camping, my kids, half my kids like sausages. Now everybody likes camping sausages because camping sausages are apparently so much better than regular sausage. So we'll give these a quick little cook up just to kind of crisp up their edges, heat them through, and that will just make them so delicious. It gives them a little like ooh de la bacon flavoring to it. Beautiful. Let's get our next round over here in just a second. We'll crisp that up. I've got 4 more French toasts to make and pretty quick. That's one thing it's nice is it's quicker to get and whip this up than it would be for us to go to a sit-down restaurant anyways. So, and I like to do a nice kind of hearty breakfast when we're camping because that will get us up for whatever adventures we do. A lot of times we're going camping, although my oldest daughter, who is joining friends for spring break, you know, she had a soccer game off in Chattanooga and then she's going on a trip with her friends. And she was like, you can't go spelunking without me. And I was like, you're lucky Jack is not 4 yet because we would totally go spelunking without you. Now we are going to do a small cave today, but not a super big, cool cave for it. But she was like, you can't do the big cave without me. And I was like, well, you can't always be disappearing on here. Before I grab that, let me grab this guy off. Put that on there. Pop this on. Give this a little turn down. And now I'm going to just take these sausages off. So you see, perfect, golden brown, just wonderful. And the nice thing is I will say this camping breakfast it's just 6 of us today because, you know, my oldest is not here, probably cost me around $20 to make because you have the bacon, the sausage, the eggs, because we'll use a whole dozen eggs, the loaf of bread, and that is it. So it's really economical, you know, as well. Leaves us more money for more fun. Okay, I'm going to pour off a little bit of this bacon grease because you don't ever want to pour or cook your eggs in this much bacon grease or they'll be very, very greasy. So I got my metal bowl here and I'm just going to pour it in here. I'll leave a little bit for it. Wipe this side. And I'm going to turn this down fairly low for our eggs. Get that flipped over. And then I do a little bit of butter in, so it's like bacon grease and butter for my eggs because I like that the milk solids, the taste of them in my eggs. So I'm going to turn this down nice and low, get this butter melted around, and then we're going to cook up our eggs. And then I've just got a few more things left. And it's kind of like the perfect, a dozen eggs works well for us. And then I'll scramble them in my pan. So once I get them all cracked, that's when I'm going to scramble them. Again, it's nice to minimize the amount of dishes you need. And so this is one that it's 2 dishes and the rest can be on paper plates. I guess 3 if you count the bowl. There we go. Eggs are done. Let me grab. Now we always do scramble. Well, if I had my oldest daughter here, fried eggs, but because she has the nice fried eggs love with me. But My rest of my kids, they love good scrambled eggs. So we're mixing up. You get those nice little bacon bits in here, which will add, again, that great seasoning for our scrambled eggs. And then I'll add in some salt at the end. And there we go. There. Just scrape around. And again, this is just one of those reasons why I like not a cast iron, because scrambled eggs in a cast iron doesn't always work as well. Let me get this guy off. Beautiful. We'll throw in, I've got so close to the end. Turn that down just a smidge. And then we'll get these up. And then it will be breakfast time. Here we go. And where's my salt? We're going to just sprinkle a little bit of salt over it. When I'm camping, I really only bring a few spices with me. I bring cinnamon, vanilla, because that way I can make donuts and pancakes and French toast. So those all kind of go well together. I bring regular salt, Mrs. Dash's table blend, and garlic salt. Those are like the only spices I really bring, because I can do so many different simple campfire meals with them. And that way I don't have to bring a whole bunch of different things. But look at that lovely bits of bacon in here. It's just going to be absolutely delicious. So good. Okay, I'm going to turn this guy off. That way the residual heat will continue to cook the remaining bit of moisture out of the eggs for it. And we pretty much got our feast here just about done. But we can serve up our plate here in just a second. Kind of a quick bake and see how we're going to have it served up. So let me slide. I'm done with this guy. Put this right over here so I can remember to take that before the kiddos come out. But for our breakfast today, I've got our delicious bacon fried eggs, because we scrambled up our eggs in our wonderful bacon here. I'll take a nice piece of French toast, slide this over here, because we know we're going to eat more than one piece of French toast. And then we'll have sausage and our beautiful golden crispy bacon for just this amazing, simple, and delicious campfire breakfast. You know, it's perfect for when we go camping on there. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I try to do live cooking shows every single day, kind of show you what we're making for our family and hopefully teach you guys something along the way. Again, we do upload all of our videos to the link on our page. So if you ever want to recreate any of these recipes at home, like our simple French toast, you can always go there to the link and watch and cook along with me again. We also have a link to our Amazon storefront that has all of our different cooking gear. I even have a camping section that has all of my camping stuff in there, from my cook stove to all the things, because it really, like, once you know, it makes camping so easy that you'll never want to not go camping. That's like our favorite vacation to do. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us here.